I hope you all had a wonderful day with lots of nice talks and lots of interesting ideas. It might be that the energy is a little bit low, but I'm sure the next two speakers will do something about it. And I don't think Tim and Frederik really need an introduction, but they will do that themselves, I guess. So.
Hello, everyone. It's been a long day, so we're almost there, almost food and drinks, but first us. Let me start with a question first. Who knows the game Rock, Paper, Scissors? Okay. Let me rephrase it. Who doesn't know the game Rock, Paper, Scissors? Everyone? Okay. Nonetheless, I will give a small demo how you play the game, just to make sure that everybody knows how you play the game or how you should play the game. So, yeah, this is a bit annoying. I win. So I now won because paper beats rock, and then he has to remove some clothes, and that's what we're going to play now. You can, I'm not judging, but paper beats rock. Rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper. Quite easy, okay? So the goal is we're gonna pair up. I'm gonna explain how in a bit. And then you're gonna play, you're gonna walk around, play rock, paper, scissors. We're gonna do best out of 3. So if you win 2 times, okay, you're the winner. What happens then is interesting. He's the winner, I'm the loser. I now have to follow him around and have to coach him. Yeah! Great job, come, we're gonna be the next guy. And then he's gonna be the next guy. And the losers all become supporters of the winner. So as you can imagine, the group will become larger and larger until there's a finale of 2 groups cheering on their champion. Get completely hyped. Yeah. I really want to see some energy because the coaching will really help him win the game. It's super important that he's in the right mindset. You really have to help him. So to explain again, everybody stands up. Everybody picks. You can walk around a bit already. Just mingle a bit. Just walk around a bit until. Yeah. Everybody walks around a bit, and then you just play best out of 3, rock, paper, scissors. The winner carries on, the loser starts coaching. And then you find the next person. Come on, let's do it. Come on, ik doe het niet meer. Come on. Find the next person. Come on, the winner finds the next person. Come on, if you win, find the next person. If you've won, find the next person to play against. And cheer him on, come on! Where are the winners? Come on, keep going! have a winner? Yeah, you can play against me. No. No? Okay, everybody sit down. The winner can come in front. Yeah. Yeah. We have a winner. Yay. What was your strategy?
Always pick the different thing that they would last picked. If we have an equal thing, I pick the same thing.
Yeah.
So they would change. I had the same thing, and eventually it worked.
Okay. Winning strategy.
You just pick the thing that he's not picking. It's that easy.
If you had the same thing, I picked the same thing again because they change, and then it's a 50% chance of winning. So.
Yeah. I lost.
Congratulations.
I think that's someone from Bolt, right? Bolt. Okay, where are we at? All right, the agenda for the keynote. We're gonna do a little introduction. So, who are we? What do we do? Why do we do what we do?
Do.
Happy to the rescue. All right, first, let me introduce a bit. Well, Frederik, oh my. You can start.
I'm Jannik voor de vrienden. Yeah, let me tell me a bit about myself. I started working at Ordina 14 years ago as a Java consultant. I quickly graduated into doing full stack, which means Java on the back end and ugly HTML on the front end. Mainly doing Java with Spring on JEE, and on the front end struts, GSF, and also became a bit adventurous with jQuery at the time. After that, I became a competence leader mobile. Did some native Android, native iOS, dabbled a bit with Adobe Flex, and did some PhoneGap and HTML5. And after that, I did some work as a solution expert, smart technologies, which means I was looking at all the interesting new emerging technologies and see how we could do interesting stuff with that. But most of the time, it involved all kinds of cloud technologies. So after that, I became practice manager application platforms to do also some people coaching in the cloud domain. I'm currently active as a solution lead, which means I'm doing pre-sales, talking to a lot of customers, seeing what they need, and then translating that to see how we as a unit, as an area, can service all of those customers and do what they want us to do, see what they want that we're good at. Yeah.
All right, next up, myself. So I'm a full stack JavaScript, Java software engineer. It's a big name for actually nothing. So I started as a Java consultant at Ordina almost 10 years ago. Almost, still 1 month to go. I switched to full stack JavaScript with even a focus on the front end. Then I became competence lead for automation, and then I switched to continuous integration and delivery, which I'm also doing a bit of coaching in. I was practice lead for 2 years and a bit, and then I switched again to a more technical role. So I'm currently working for a client where I'm doing development. A bit of architecture, some pipelining. I'm using Node.js, GitLab, AWS, and Cloud AMQP for those who know what it is. And inside Ordina, I'm also active in helping sales with architecture offerings and pitching solutions. And that's it. Yeah, I want to be a surfer, but well, that's not really working out. So what do we do? Well, let's go back a bit in history. So a few years ago, I think 2 years and a half ago, 2 years ago, we had Clockwork and we had JWorks. And Clockwork was focusing on concept and exploration with UX research and service design. They were then delivering something through user experience and UI design to the front end. And those needed to implement those things, but as you can see, they were not working closely together. But on the right side, we have JWorks, and we were doing Java, in the front end Angular, a bit of cloud, not that much yet, so there was a lot of growth last 2 years, and then, well, some architecture. So then we, or other people, not me, maybe a bit me, decided to move the front end to a new unit, a new area. Bolt, for those, well, we're all here, so we know what Bolt is. And, well, the leftover was JWorks. But Frederik will tell a bit more about JWorks.
Yeah, so this is JWorks. You can see by the blocks what we mostly do. That we're the Java backend developers. We mostly use Spring to build everything. But a Java application doesn't live on its own these days, so you also need some cloud expertise. So you have people who are very strong in Java and in Spring and also have some knowledge about running those applications on the cloud. But we also have people who are very strong in cloud technologies who also understand a bit how Java applications work. So I have a bit of both. And of course, we're also active in architecture. We're also able to provide enterprise-grade architecture. And these three blocks also transfer a bit to the practices that we have. We have a backend practice, a cloud practice, and an architecture practice. You also see that we still do a bit of front end, but it's not our main focus. We're able to do it a bit, but not, I think, as good as the Bolt people who have. I don't know if you're good. You always say that you're good, but I've seen the results. You see that we do AWS and Azure, but there's a more stronger focus on AWS at the moment. And Kubernetes is something that ties everything together most of the time. Okay, so typically when we build applications, you typically for us have Java on the back end, and those back-end applications are built in Spring Boot, and those are typically run on the cloud, preferably on AWS, even more preferably on some kind of Kubernetes. We use all kinds of pipelines to deploy those applications, but typically we end up with GitHub Actions or GitLab or maybe even Azure DevOps. And we also sometimes need a front end that we have to provide some data to, and then we have to oblige sometimes, most of the time.
So that's where Bolt comes in. As mentioned before, there was some research and service design, and then UX design and UI design. But mentioning this here is actually the bootstrapping between design and the implementation. So we have a solution inside Bolt, which is called Design Systems, and it's, well, that is actually giving information to a component library that we then use in our front-end implementation. So, well, as said before, we're focusing on the front end. So instead of one framework, we are doing, well, two big ones, which is Angular and React, a bit of Gatsby and Flutter. So, well, you all or part of you got to talk about Flutter today. So we're also doing that. And then, well, when we left JWorks, we had a problem because we did not have a backend, we did not have cloud. So we needed to, well, do something about that. So we started looking into Node.js, which is just shitty JavaScript on the backend, you'd say, but it's not. It's much more. And a bit of PHP for content management systems, but I'll come back to that later. Also a bit of architecture and a bit of cloud because, well, we need to run our applications. So mentioned before, front-end Angular, Vue.js, a bit of Drupal. In the backend, Node.js, but probably, well, mostly a layer on top of it, a Flavor, Express, or Nest.js. And then a bit of cloud. We were focusing on Azure DevOps and Azure implementation. But now we're focusing a bit on AWS. Peter was pushing us a bit. And that's it. But the question now is, why do we do that? Why do we do Java? Why do we do JavaScript? So I'm not sure if this is going to work, but let me figure this out. Can I pause it? Yes, all right. So there are two drivers. You have the community and you have the clients. Because, well, it's not because the community says you need to use Rust that the client is, well, willing to implement that. So I will give a small introduction into what's happening in the community. So I'm going to make it very easy for myself. You can see what had happened the last 20 years. So for the ones that are doing C, well, time for a switch, I think. So Java and JavaScript are, well, very stable on top. We have C# coming up. We have, well, Python is already there, but I'll come back to that later. So I will now fast forward a bit because it will take too long. So 2015, 2019, and that's it. So, well, Python at this moment was the winner, and then we had Java and JavaScript. Why Python? Well, there was a big revolution into data science, and a lot of data people are using Python as well. That's why it was boosting. JavaScript was pretty stable because of the front end. Some sites also include Node.js, but some are keeping them apart. You can see this probably in one of these graphs or data sets. So instead of only focusing on one, we had different resources to check everything. But the top 5 is always, well, kind of always this: Java, JavaScript, C#, C, and Python. Not necessarily in that order, but, well, since we're doing Java and JavaScript, I put them on top. So that's actually it. What I do want to mention here is this is measured in a community based on everyone. So if you start doing a lot of Rust and start pushing a lot of code, it will go higher, but that doesn't mean that it's, well, more important. As you can see on the right side, you have Rust that gained 170%, but you are still not adopting that. But Dart grow 80%. Dart is the base of Flutter. So Flutter is written in Dart. That's why it's boosting right now. So we have a focus on that. Let's hope for the best, but yeah. Then, for the clients.
Yeah, so we checked what was going on in the community, but we also checked what was going on with our customers. So this is an overview of some of our customers that we have, and we also asked them what are you looking at these days, and we also see requests coming in from those customers specifically for those technologies that we've listed here. So basically, they're all still focused on the things that we are focusing on. Yeah. Then if you look at our biggest customers and then look at the technologies that we're using, it's quite, we're focusing on the right things at the moment.
All right, so what does that mean? That the combination of both, and this is not an announcement. So the combination of both and JWorks can actually provide around 70% of the enterprise application stacks, which is a lot. I'm not mentioning .NET here. I have nothing against .NET, but we have another unit doing the whole stack as well, but with .NET as the backend. So we're still focusing on all these, and well, based on the how do you say that? The questionnaire we did, everything, well, we're doing what we need to do. But there's a but. HPT at Ordina. So as mentioned, we can do a lot of, yeah, I designed it. That's actually not true. It was Bart. So as you can see, the base layer is doing what we just mentioned, but that's not enough for doing well, complete projects and delivering products. So we are in need of Scrum, bit of analysis, people that can talk to the business. And that's why Ordina is pushing HPT, so high performance teams. And well, besides for the money, who can tell me the 2 drivers for, well, doing high performance teams? Is there anyone that wants, well, try?
employee engagement or satisfaction?
That's one. Well, it was mentioned. It was mentioned. So we have employee satisfaction of 7.8 for people working in high performance teams, and only 7.4 for people that are not working on HPT. And again, well, client satisfaction. So those are the two drivers for trying to push it to our clients. Well, almost. So, join 2022. You were fantastic. So this is not yet a goodbye. We first need to thank all the speakers. Well, I don't have the list in my head. Thank you, Yannick. Everyone that had a talk today, can you come to the front, please? Anja is delivering the very cool packages.
Alles zo straks. Het zijn dikke ze. Ze zit erin, zit maar weg. Mijn kinderen.
So, can we put our hands together? Thank you very much. And also a very big thank you to the organizers of the event. Aya, I'm just saying thank you. Aya, Peter, Niels, Lode, Marijke. No. Bart, Peter, well, everyone for making this day, well, for making it such a wonderful success. So thank you. Oh, Lander. I mentioned Niels. Who else? Daniele, yeah, but she's not here. Yeah, that I knew. All right. Thank you, Marijke. She's been here for 3 weeks now, 1 month. Yeah, fantastic job. All right, thank you very much. And well, I'm not sure what we're gonna eat, but I think it will be ready, right?